Good morning, folks. Anthony with Signature Roofing. We're back here in Sicklerville in the same development where you guys are probably familiar. If you see the backdrop, we've done numerous homes here. Normally, we're here for full replacements. In many cases, you'll hear us describing how the roofs, depending on age and type, are sometimes beyond the point of being able to make repairs. Today, we're actually here to repair a roof because it is strong enough to withstand the type of repairs that need to be made. So since we normally aren't doing repair videos, we figured we would take advantage of the opportunity just to show you the difference between the type of repairs that are made. And one of the benefits that you have when you're using skilled labor, a master roofer that's worked on all different type of roof systems, right? They've worked with all the various materials that go on all those roof systems and the components that go along with them. So even though many of them have very specific uses, right? If you've worked with those materials, you know that they have other good uses, right? When it comes to patching, sealing, things like that. But if you've not worked with those components and you've only worked on a specific type of roof system, you may not be familiar with them. So first thing I want to do is just give you, the rundown. First off, the roof that we're on today is a 3-tab roof, so we're repairing wind damage. And as you guys know, if Signature was installing a roof, it would never be a 3-tab shingle. It would always be an architectural. However, today, since we're doing repairs, we're having to match the shingle. So we're using the GAF 3-tab shingle that's on the roof in effort to try and match it as best as possible. With regards to some of the components, we're just going to show you. Now, this roof is a 3-tab shingle that only has 15-pound roof felt, right? We're going to be using a combination of ice and water, which is the Winter Guard ice and water shield from CertainTeed. The paper that we're using is Tri-Built. Could have just as easily been Roof Runner, but that's the roll that we grabbed. It's the same exact stuff. So basically, synthetic paper, ice and water, and then you can see here we have more ice and water, but we also have a roll of trim coil. We have just inch capping nails, right? Plastic caps on top. And then just the checklist for tools. Have our capping nails, have a hammer. We have a spatula, right? Something that we don't usually use would be roof tar, roof cement. But we're going to be using that today. It's already around back. You want things like pry bars, your hammer, your square. You're going to want a staple hammer. You're going to want strong shears. You're going to want nippers. And you want to have these things prepared prior to getting onto the roof. And what you're going to see today, what we demonstrate basically, when you're repairing a shingle, you don't have the ability to have the roof torn off to inspect the roof deck. So if we come upon areas that, shingles have been missing, the roof deck's been exposed, we may have a roof deck that it would be deemed unnailable. What do we do in that circumstance? We can't tear it up. So we're going to show you a couple nifty ways that you can actually create a good surface to lay material on just simply using trim coil. We're going to show you various techniques that we use using roof cement to be able to seal down ones that are flapping, and also just to be proactive, knowing that we're going to disturb shingles in the areas where we make the repairs. So what we'll do then is we'll proactively, right, we'll butter that bread. We'll use that cement to, kind of coat the underside of those 3-tab shingles that we disturbed, so that when we set them back in place, there may be some creasing that can't be avoided. Once the shingle is bent back, there's going to be a little bit of binding and some of the granules are going to remove. But if we can make sure that that shingle stays sealed and overlapped over the lower layer of shingles, then the fact, in and of itself that the porcelain has been removed is not as big of a deal when we know that there's no ability for it to tear and break off and become a missing shingle. So again, we're going to use a combination of various different methods because the different affected areas, some are affected more than others. Some of them have the roof deck to consider. Others just have a missing shingle where the non-exposure of the other shingle is still in place, so we're not down to the roof deck. So just wanted to give you the kind of the checklist of different things that we have prepared to take onto the roof. And now we'll begin to repair the roof. And as we make the repairs, we're going to show you some of that stuff step by step as well.